Hello, welcome to my crafty channel. It's Paula here. I've got a little collection of photos here and I thought it'd be quite fun to put one together with you again online. These are very special photos because they are my lovely Treasured Stars team that do Stampin' Up with me. So they do a whole heap of crafting with, some of them have got lovely little customer bases, others just do it for themselves, and it's just a really lovely group. Now we get together every second month and we have a bit of a creative day, and I think it's one of our favorite days of the 2 months when we get together. We don't stop talking the entire time and we get to do a little bit of creating. And I just took some photos of our recent little get together, some of the fun things that we've created and done together. So I thought it would be lovely to put that onto our page. Now, when we had our team meeting, we were talking about some of the quick and easy options that are in our catalogue. Reason being is we want more people to have fun crafting. And I know some of us enjoy spending hours on a page putting together some beautiful technical layouts, but it's also really fun to have people that just want to come and chat and just do something really simple and easy. And we have a section in our catalogue that is purely designed for those types of crafters. So in our annual catalogue, we've got this section and it's called Quick and Easy Options. Perfect. It's for those that are time poor or are space poor, don't have a lot of space to have lots of tools, don't want to spend a lot of money on the craft, they just want to have a bit of fun with it. So this quick and easy option have some nice little elements called ephemera, which are pieces that are already pre-decorated for you, just a bit like die cuts. They've got cards and envelopes that have got different specialty elements to them, so they're already pre-made nicely for you. There's tags, there's sentiments, so you don't even have to get out a stamp set with this. It's lovely. It's some of the ideas they've popped into the book here too, how you can start to put some of these things together to create these lovely tags and cards, following along with some of these templates that they've even provided for you in the book. So this little section is something that I don't know if we utilize enough as crafters, because what we've got in here is a whole lot of pre-designed bits and pieces that mean that we don't have to spend all that time stamping, coloring, cutting out just to create the little elements. So I've got those little photos here, and I've got a little sampling of some of those bits and pieces that I called the ephemera. So these are stickers. They've got an actual sticker back to them. They are nice quality, quite thick. When you punch them out, they feel like quite a solid chipboardy feel, just thin but quite solid. And as I say, they have got this lovely little element that's just been added in this last round, which is a sticker sheet. So I can peel off the backing and it becomes adhesive on its own, which is a real quick win for those that like to do a bit of crafting. So I've got these photos. Let's have a little look at what we can do. So I'm thinking I'll do a double page. I'm going to pop the two larger photos. This is actually two photos on one. This was a little pack that I gave to people, which is actually using this ephemera, and these are some of the things that were put together by some of the team members. Aren't they clever? So I've got that one. I've got this lovely photo of almost everyone. Actually, there's one person not shown in the photo sitting over here, our lovely Gladys. So she's in some of the other photos. So let's see, I've got her in this little one over here. She's sitting in the far corner. And also I'm not in the photos, but you know, that's how it is when you're the one that takes the photos, isn't it? So we've got this, I'm going to put on one side, and then I've cut all the others into 3x3s. I printed them as 3x4s, just like this, and I've trimmed them all down to 3x3. So I gave them all a little gifty as part of their bag and their little pack as well. We had a shared lunch. We saw lots of people demonstrated all different things I've been creating recently, and we had a bit of a creative time ourselves. So these are some of the fun things I'm going to put on this page. Now I'm thinking a grid style, given that I've got so many 3x3 photos, I could actually pop them along in the center of the page and have these two on the other side and keep it really nice and neutral, which means that there's a nice strip along the top and a strip along the bottom I can decorate. Or I quite like doing this kind of thing when I've got a variety of photos like these, and that's when I make a little bit of a grid out of the photos. Let's just see which way I want. I probably want that one over that way. So maybe I'll put this here. No, I think I'll put the food there, which means I may want to switch those around. Let's just say something a bit like that. So I've got a bit of a balance. So I'm thinking this could be quite nice, and I want to fill in the gaps with 3 other little clusters. And that's where these are going to come in. They're going to make my life really easy. So I've got my little section. I've got the 3 spots. So I've actually gone ahead and cut some white cardstock at 3x3 to fill in those spots, and I've run it through an embossing folder. So this is that oh, I've had a blank, what's it called? This embossing folder has come back to me, and it is the corrugated iron one. So this is it's called the mini corrugated iron because it does quite close together little impressions. And being a 3D embossing folder, the impressions are really realistic. So it's actually a very fun one. So I'm going to pop these, just to add a bit of texture to the page, into the center. And I do like to have white on white quite often, particularly if I've done a bit of embossing, because it just looks quite smart. It looks really sophisticated without too much effort. And as you can see, I haven't even photomatted these photos. I may just put a tiny little bit of a mat behind them because they actually cut out at very slightly less than 3 by 3 when I do it with my selfie printer. So just to make it all symmetrical, I may just put a little trim behind, but you don't need to. It looks kind of cool. So let's get and have a little bit of fun with these pieces. So there is just a variety of themes in these ones. There's actually 2 sheets come of each one of these. So there's 6 sheets in the pack when they come. That one keeps falling out. But you can see we've got shells in here. We've got some baking in here. We've got some lovely fruit. We've got gorgeous little outdoor little bees and scenes. We've got lots of little pot plants. So I'm kind of thinking I might take on the nature elements a little bit more than anything else. So let's just pop them out and place them in spots. So I could pop a little one like this over here, maybe. I could do it on this one or the top one. I might pull out, I really like this little pot plant, and I noticed, I think, yes, there's 2 of them. So we might be able to use this in 2 spots. Let's just have a look. This piece keeps wanting to come out, so I'm going to use it. In fact, I think what I might do is pull this over here, and I'll use that as a little ledge. So that can be my little pot plant coming in there. And of course, if I'm doing a cute little pot plant, on these, there's all these cute little ladybugs. So I might just pop a little ladybug on here. We want them to be crawling along the stem, and there might even be more of those ladybugs, so I might find spots for them all over. So that's a couple of little places, and then I'm thinking I might grab, now what did I see on here? I saw a little tag. Tags are a good base, so maybe I'll start with a little tag. And because we were gathering and having a really good time together over cups of tea, cake, and all the goodies, let's pop that one in there too. Now, as I said, I kind of want to keep a bit of an element of plants happening. So I could tuck that inside there. Or I could even, there's other ones on here. There's this gorgeous little one here that comes together quite nicely if I pull that one out. So maybe we could go a little bit slimmer with our plant aspect. And there's also these ones that are white, and if I don't want it to be white, I could color it. So we could always give that one a little bit of color as well, just to add something into the mix. I actually don't mind this one on its own, but it would be nice to pull in a bit of green too. So I might just have a little look-see around and see if there's something else I could add into that one. We might keep that for the other side of the page. So anyway, that's a little starting point. But as I said, there is those cute little ladybugs. So maybe I'll just pop a little ladybug down on this one as well, just to keep that cute little element going on. And I'll put 1 or 2 on the other side as well. So that's looking pretty sweet. I think I might just commit those. Now, what I can do at this point is decide if I want to have things coming off the grid, or whether I want to keep it all contained. I quite like if I've got something like this dovetailing it. So I'll do that first anyhow, because I will prefer to have it that way. Let me see if I can find some scissors. And we'll just add that little dovetailed piece in here. Nice and easy. I usually just go down the center and then go from each corner to match up that center line. And that usually makes it pretty much in the middle. So that's kind of cute. I'm still not sure. I'm kind of wondering whether I do want this a bit more in, so I may end up chopping off that little excess that we don't particularly need. But that's kind of cute. Now, I also want to have a few little sentiments coming through that will overlap on here. So let's just put those to one side, and I'm going to bring in a little set that I pull on many times because it is useful for these lovely little extra mini sentiments. And this set is called the More Messages little bundle. So it comes with the stamp set and the die cut. They're both just a single stamp and a single die. The single stamp is one large one, so it stamps everything at once, or you can just stamp on a scrap piece just the little bit you want. But if you stamp everything at once, then you can also die cut everything at once, and you get a whole ton of little sentiments that can work quite well on both scrapbooking and card making. So I'm just going to pull out a little bit of Secret Sea, because that's a lovely colour that ties in with this. I'm going to stamp on here with clear Versamark ink, and I'm going to put through some white embossing powder to get all of those sentiments standing out beautifully on that dark background. So I'll go away and do this and come back with my finished set of sentiments. So here you go, here's all of those sentiments, and they've been heat embossed. They've got a real nice white glossy shine to them, and I can now just pull out this single die from the set, line it up, and I can run it through my machine, and I'm going to get all those different gorgeous little sentiments. So I'll just go away and do that as well, so we've got some little mini sentiments to play with. So now that we've got those sentiments, we've got pretty much everything we need to finish off this layout. Now, of course, with the quick range, we do have ephemera that is already pre-printed with sentiments, and you could easily have used those at this point without having to go away and stamp. So I'm just trying to find a little spot for some of these throughout the layout. There's some really great sayings here. You're the best, oh, happy day, hello, all these really neat little sayings. I just chose some quite generic ones to finish off the page. Now, I do want to bring in a little bit more green rather than the whites. So with that little sentiment that was white, that little leaf, I have changed it to green. I also go ahead and colour that bottom right embellishment with a green marker, so that I've got yellow and green little flowers, which you don't actually see me do on camera. Now I'm just putting all these adhesives down, making it all stick, committing it all, and it's so easy with the adhesive on the back of these little stickers. They just go together beautifully. It's not a hard process at all, and we have a really nicely decorated page. I'm just going to need to bring in my adhesive for the sentiment to finish it off, and that's how we put this little page together. You will see I have matted my photos in the end just to make sure that they were perfect 3x3, and I do like how that Secret Sea has played that out and made it stand out. But I also feel it needed a little bit of extra, so I have used my journaling pen to add those stitched lines. Now we're going to do the right hand side. So again, I'm going to be matting these photos. I think it's a really consistent look against the white. Secret Sea has become such a favourite colour of mine. Now I've kept some 3x3s, so I'm going to keep that grid pattern coming across onto this page. I have again embossed the piece of white that's going in the middle, and that's going to be a nice landing point for some embellishment. But first I want to add a pop of colour. So I'm looking through my stash at different bits of blue that I have, and this two-toned piece works really well, but I've decided to go with a softer side so it's not such a stark contrast against the white background. You'll see there's blue on both sides, so this really works in quite nicely. That looks great. It's showing off everyone's happy faces beautifully. Now I can just decorate this other little grid just like I did with the ones on the left hand side, adding in a few bits and pieces, a little sentiment, and it's looking really fine. Now it's also nice to have a cluster across on the other side of the large photo just to keep consistency. Again, I colour in that little white leaf, and I'm bringing in this lovely black and grey sort of leaf pattern, which does help to make it draw across, and a little bit of the twine too. So we've got a little bit of that on both sides of the page. This is coming together really easily with these embellishments, but we do need a title. And I've got these lovely large alphabets. I do try it in Secret Sea, but it feels just a little bit harsh and heavy. So I tried in white as well and sponged the word team with that lovely light green. And that just feels a bit softer and in keeping with all the lovely leaves that I've got on the page. I've also made a little subtitle with some of our other title stamps and a little mini one to go across the team as well. And I think that just ties the whole sort of story together well. Now I've got a spot for journaling at the bottom, and it's just going to really finish off that grid-like effect on this page as well. I did try embossing the letters too, just for interest, but decided it actually looked better not. And you can see I ended up turning that into my left-hand side, just because it felt a little bit more balanced. So there you go, that's how quick and easy it is to put together some embellishments on your page using the ephemera. I hope you enjoyed seeing how this project came together. Thanks for watching.